वन्दे
कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे
ओ कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे
मानसमधुकर अर्पय निजपद
मानसमधुकर अर्पय निजपद पंकजमाकरन्दे कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे
ओ यद्यपि समाधिषु विधिरपि पश्यति
यद्यपि समाधिषु विधिरपि पश्यति तत्त्वनाखाग्रमरीचि इदं विच्छामि निशम्य तवाच्युत
तदपि कृपा
इदं विच्छामि निशम्य तवाच्युत तदपि कृपा तदपि कृपा
कृष्णादेव
कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे
ओ भक्तिरुदाचति यद्यपि माधव
ओ भक्तिरुदञ्चति यद्यपि माधव
न त्वयि ममतिलमाति
ओ न त्वयि मम तिलमात्रि
परमेश्वरता तदपि तवाधिका
परमेश्वरता तदपि तवाधिका परमेश्वरता तदपि तवाधिका दुर्गतगतन विधात्री दुर्गतगतन विधात्री
कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे
ओ कृष्णादेव भवन्तं वन्दे अयमविलोलतो याद्य सनातनो कलिताद्भुतरसभारो
निवसतु नित्यमेहामृतानन्दने
निवसतु नित्यं मिहामृतानन्दे निवसतु नित्यमिहामृतनिन्दिनी विन्दनो मधुरिमसारो विन्दन मधुरिमसारो Gopinath Ju ki jai. Time is getting late. Radhe Brajajana Manasukakari, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam. Page 366 by Srila Gurudev, Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. राधे ब्रज जन मन सुखकारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे
ब्रज जन मन सुखकारी राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम
राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे
श्याम श्याम राधे श्याम श्याम
राधे ब्रज जन मन सुखकारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे ब्रज जन मन सुखकारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम लोचन बांकी चित्त बनहारी सुंदर बदन कमल दल लोचन
बांकी चित्त बनहारी
मोहन वंशी बिहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम अवतारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे राधा कृष्ण मिलिय बदो गौर रूप अवतारी राधा कृष्ण राधा कृष्ण मिली अब दो गौर रूप अवतारी राधा कृष्ण कीर्तन कीर्तन धर्म प्रचारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे राधे व्रज जन मन सुखकारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम तुम बिना मेरे और न कोई नाम रूप अवतारी तुम बिना मेरे चरणन में बलिहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे राधे नारायण बलिहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम ओ राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम ओ राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम ओ राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे व्रज जन मन सुखकारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे नारायण बलिहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम
नारायण बलिहारी
Hare Hare, Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare की जय, कृपानुग गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय, गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, राधा गोपीनाथू की जय, गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्री श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्तनारायणनित्यनामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनित्यनामिने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtotarashata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashtotarashata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, past, present, and future, including all of you who are physically present and all of you who are virtually present, I offer my pranam. Hare Krishna. So before continuing with going beyond Vaikuntha, we had some questions from yesterday. Because yesterday, 2 questions had come many times recently to me, and so I addressed them slightly. One was the question of, why does it seem that God creates us just to watch us suffer and struggle to attain perfection? Couldn't he just fix it in a moment? And that's a very existential question. So we discussed that in the beginning. And then the other one is the idea of the independence of the jiva. That the jiva has been given independence by Krishna to choose whether or not he wants to engage his energy in loving Krishna or engage his energy in chasing after trying to enjoy Maya. And so we discussed from the perspective of many of our acharyas and many different examples that the jiva always has this independence to be able to choose. But then a further question came from Gopijana Vallabha Prabhu. But what about those who are nitya mukta jivas? Because they're also jivas. They're not the same as the nitya parikar of Bhagavan. They are also jivas from Tatashta, but different. They have looked toward the Supreme Lord, whereas the rest of us have looked toward the material energy and are now bound in the material world, struggling, and every once in a while looking toward Krishna, but then again looking toward the material energy. So I did some research on this point, different perspectives of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and also the commentaries of our Srila Gurudev, and some commentaries of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and also of Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. First, we must establish and understand that according to the Dashamula Tattva, there are 2 kinds of jivas. Tad bhinangsangscha jiva prakriti kavalitan tad vimuktangscha bhavat. 2. There are those who are bound by Maya, and there are those who are eternally liberated. It is said that at some time or another, some jivas looked toward Bhagavan, and immediately a desire manifested within their heart to serve Bhagavan. When this happened, we cannot say. Because within the transcendental realm, there is no concept of linear time like we have here. That I was born so many years ago, and now I'm so old, and I'm going to die in so many years from now. Or who knows, 7 minutes or 7 seconds. We don't know. But in the transcendental realm, there is no concept of linear time. It is not the same as it is here. So we cannot say when those personalities look toward the Supreme Lord. But from the moment they look toward Him, immediately their own intrinsic svabhav, their nature to love and serve Him in a particular way, was awakened. And Krishna declares, Yad gatva mam nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Whoever attains to me and attains to my abode, they never return or never go to this material world of birth and death. Even someone who understands the transcendental nature of my birth, my appearance in this world, and my activities, Krishna says, they never have to take birth again in this material world. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mam eti shorjuna. So, can we call this force? We cannot call it force, because they have looked in that direction and chosen. The eternal associates of the Lord who are manifested within Vrindavan, within Vaikuntha, within Dwarka, and all of the different transcendental realms are not different from Krishna himself. There is one Supreme Lord, and then from himself manifests so many different forms. We cannot say that Baladev Prabhu is different from him, nor are his eternal associates, the Sakhas. In the same way that the gopis are also not different from Srimati Radhika. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitavis tabirya eva nija rupataya kalabhi. They are all manifestations of her own bhavs and are in essence not different from her. They're only manifesting particular moods of hers, and they play in that lila in a certain way. In the same way, Krishna himself has so many different manifestations, including the person who is married to Srimati Radhika, Ayan Ghosh. It is also the manifestation of Krishna, transcendental, not different from him, but performing a specific function. These personalities are known as Nitya Parikar, and they are not included within the category of jivas. Jiva is a tatastha shakti prakash, bheda abhed. When I was younger, I always understood that the jiva is tatastha shakti, but Srila Gurudev explained, Jivera Swarupa hoy Krishnera Nitya Das, Krishnera tatastha shakti bheda bhed prakash. The nature of the jiva, all jivas, is that they are eternal servants of Krishna. Krishnera tatastha shakti prakash. He added prakash to that. Krishnera tatastha shakti prakash. They are manifestations of Krishna's marginal potency. And they are at the same time bhed and abhed, different and not different from him. Not different in that they have the same qualities essentially. Most of the same qualities and the same intrinsic makeup. In a very minute aspect, Krishna is Satchit Ananda Rupam. His form is made of this. According to our Guru Varga, the Jivatma is also this, but so small. And that Jiva is so small, Krishna has also invested it eternally with the power to do the impossible. Gurudev said it is a very amazing thing that the superior energy can look toward the material energy and be covered by that thing which is technically inferior to itself. Srila Gurudev said this can only take place by the power of Krishna's ability to make the impossible possible. Aghatana ghatana patiyasi shakti. Otherwise, it could not be possible. So there are those jivas who have looked toward the Lord and gone in that direction. They are known as Nitya Mukta Jivas. And there are those jivas who have looked toward the material energy and come in this direction with the desire to be the enjoyer instead of giving enjoyment to Krishna, which is the intrinsic nature of all jivas, to do such a thing. So Srila Gurudev explained that the jivas who are here, Krishna has endowed them with that independence, and they always have this independence. We have been given independence, and he does not remove that from us. But once we choose him, we will be, I'm going to use the word, happily, eternally bound to our nature. Now we are expressing our nature, but in a wrong way. We're taking the energy which is meant to go, means that love, Ananda Shakti you could say, which is meant to go to Krishna, and we're expressing it in the wrong way within this material world. So we cannot consider it force because it is intrinsic within us. It is our nature. Just like it is the nature of water to seek the lowest level, so it is the nature of all jivas to seek Krishna. But somehow we have been trapped or stuck in a false identity, running after that thing which is not within our nature. So you can say actually that our current condition is a state of force. It is forced by Daivihyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durakteya. It is forced by the nature of this place due to our infinitesimalness, our Vibhina Anksa-ness, our supreme smallness, that we are able to be bound by Maya. But that is actually not our eternal nature. That is Javidharma chapter 1. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is speaking about Vastu and Vastu Tattva, the nature of water. Why is it that we have acquired this nature? If you take water which is meant to flow toward the ocean of Krishna and you place it in an extremely cold environment, the cold environment is that environment which is devoid of affection for Krishna, what happens to that water? it takes on a different nature, becomes like ice. And that ice, being in that situation for what seems like an eternity, has no idea or other idea of any other identity. I am this is me, I am ice. Not realizing that I am meant to flow with love and affection to Krishna, as water naturally flows toward the ocean. So Prabhu asked about the speciality or the differences between the different levels, because Baladev Prabhu is manifesting all of the different forms. The first manifestation of Krishna is Baladev Prabhu. And all of those other incarnations are manifested through his medium in his different forms in different prakoshas. Just as, Srila Gurudev explained, Srimati Radhika manifests all of those gopis from her own form, who resemble her, who are of her, and who are in essence not different from her. So those personalities are all eternal associates of the Lord. We cannot call them Jiva Shakti, or they are not of the Tatashta Shakti. And we, in this material world, who are bound by Maya, experiencing material bodies, material conditioning, and the transmigration from one to the next material body, we are of Krishna's Tatashta Shakti. And we have some inherent weakness. We are eternally that way. So my understanding of the question was that it seems that those personalities who look toward the Lord are forced to love him because they don't have another choice. Whereas we have a choice between Krishna and Maya at any moment, at every moment. It's not that we just chose once. We are choosing now at every single moment. That choice, Bahirmukh, is not something that happened 10 quadrillion years ago or lifetimes ago. It is something that is happening at every moment. That's why Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told that you can attain perfection in a moment. Sarvadharmam pratyaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. If you surrender unto Krishna, you can attain perfection in a moment. It doesn't have to be years or lifetimes or even months. It can be a moment if we follow that process. So coming back to the point of the jivas, there are nitya mukta jivas, eternally liberated personalities. Now the word nitya is told there because there is no time that we can say that they became liberated. And they are always absorbed from the moment of their realization, you can say, in the desire to give transcendental satisfaction to the transcendental senses of Krishna. This is their nature. And we, from our inception, since time without beginning, and there is nowhere in time that we can measure it, so it is called nitya baddha, or eternally bound, have been eternally bound. We cannot count back how many lifetimes, how many universal cycles, how many in-breaths and out-breaths of Mahavishnu have manifested since we have manifested in this world and been attracted to Maya. We cannot determine that beginning. So it is called Nitya Baddha, although it is technically not Nitya because that is not the eternal nature of any jiva. The eternal nature of all jivas is Krishna Das. Jivera Swarupa hoy, Krishner Nitya Das. They're always eternal servants of Krishna. But somehow we have been bound in this world and acting differently. So I wanted to share a quote from Srila Gurudev with all of you in this regard. Let me see if I have it here. There it is. So Srila Gurudev was explaining that when the jiva first enters into the material world, we have not come from Goloka Vrindavan. We have manifested from the marginal potency of the Lord. There is no karma initially, but he has independence, svatantrata. We have this. In addition, all independence is not the same. There is a gradation of independence. Some desire a little independence, and others desire total independence. So it depends initially what the extent of our attraction to the material energy is in terms of where we will be placed. Srila Gurudev said that for those who have an extreme desire to enjoy, they will be placed into animal species, further away from perfection. And those who only have a little bit, they can be placed, or a medium amount, within the human form. So Srila Gurudev explained, independence was first, and then chance. So we have the independence to desire, and then chance. Because it is explained by Shastra and our acharyas, like mustard seeds dropping over the edge of a blade or a sword, some will go this side, some will go this side. And we cannot say which ones will go in which direction. So that seems very chancy. Without independence, how can the jiva look toward either Yogamaya or Mahamaya? We have the choice of which way to look. So independence is first. And after that, where he falls comes second. Then one devotee asked Gurudev, but is it a choice, Srila Gurudev? The jiva is responsible. Yes, Srila Gurudev. Yes, we are responsible. Gurudev said that the jiva has independence, and Krishna never interferes with that independence. Here is an analogy. In the government, there is a magistrate in each district. If you do something good for the benefit of the public, you will be rewarded by him. However, if you commit a crime, you will be punished. Still, even though some people know that they will be punished and even put to death, they commit the crime. There are so many culprits who go to jail, and when they get out of jail, they commit the crime again because they like to be in jail. Gurudev said, because they like to be in jail. The jivas are like that. In other words, we are not fully awakened to true intelligence. Because intelligence would mean, I've learned my lesson, I won't do it again. But if we do the same foolish thing again and again and again, this is a symptom of not being awakened yet. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also speaks about that. Different levels of awakening, like a flower, a rose or something. The bud is closed, and then it comes a little bit more open, slightly blossomed, more blossomed, and fully blossomed. So the consciousness of the Baddha Jivas is also like that, and that is also dependent upon our sanskar, our sukriti, association with any bhaktas, service to any bhaktas, any accidental agyata sukriti that we may have done, and also our initial desire to the extent that we have desired to enjoy, which would place us deeper within the animal species. That would be more difficult to come out from. And if only the desire is very slight, then that would be more easy to come out from, assuming we don't bind ourselves much more further. So Srila Gurudev is saying that our condition is like that. We are all given freedom and independence. Some choose to use that independence for good, and some choose to use that independence for bad. And those who have that tendency will continue to make those same mistakes again and again and again. So I wanted to share that with you. And then there's also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's own writing about the Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha Jivas. He says that all Jivas have manifested from the Jiva Shakti. Jiva meaning tatashta. These jivas he's speaking about, nitya mukta, nitya badha. The Chit Shakti is Krishna's complete potency, whereas the Jiva Shakti is his incomplete potency. So those personalities who are manifested from his Chit potency, they are not known as Jivas, they are known as Nitya Parikara. And those who are manifested from his Tatashta Shakti or Jiva Shakti, they are known as Jivas. We come from Mahavishnu in that case. The complete entities are all transformations of the complete potencies. That means the eternal associates, they're complete. And they're transformations of Krishna's complete potency, or his Chit Shakti. And the innumerable atomic conscious jivas are transformations of the incomplete potency. Srimati Radharani has 4 kinds of Sakhis who are Nitya Siddhas, and they are direct expansions or Kaya Vyuha of the personified Chit Shakti, Srimati Radharani herself. Baladev manifests the Nitya Mukta Parshad Jivas. Baladev manifests the eternally liberated associates of Krishna, or Parshad Jivas, the eternally liberated associates of Goloka Vrindavan. The Nitya Siddhas of Vaikuntha are manifested by Mool Sankarshan. So that is a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu. And the Jivas of Tatashta Shakti, us, are manifested by Mahavishnu, who situated himself in the heart of the Jiva Shakti as Paramatma and manifests them. So he manifests us. These jivas are susceptible to the influence of Maya, and unless they attain the shelter of the Hladini Shakti by Bhagavan's mercy, it is possible that they will be defeated by Maya. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. Unless we attain the shelter of Hladini Shakti, that is Srimati Radhika and her associates, it is possible that we will be defeated by Maya. The conclusion is that the Jiva Shakti, which manifests the Tatashta Jivas, is not the Chit Shakti. So we are manifested from a different place, a different conception, a different prakosht. We are not the same, but... Yes, different Shakti. And yet, it is Krishna's amazing potency that when we enter into Nitya Lila, no one of the Chit Shakti is going to be looking at us thinking, these are Tatashta Jivas. Because the last birth that any Jiva takes within any material world is within the pastimes of Krishna while he is performing his pastimes. From the womb of any gopi. And from that place, they are naturalized into Krishna's Lila. No one is looking thinking they don't belong. They are a child of Braj. This is our family now. And then when Krishna winds up his Leela, you also wind up with them. And you enter into that Nitya Leela, or the eternal aprakat, pastimes of Krishna, as an associate of Krishna. So you're not being looked at like, oh, you don't belong here, you're a foreigner, Videshi, or anything like that. You belong. Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, has written this also in his purports in Srimad Bhagavatam. So did I address the question that you asked to some extent?
I think that Krishna, he has a very nature that he likes to perform pastime in different ways. So the custom that Shakti is there so that he can perform this particular leela of Kata. Therefore, they have an independent nature and they have a slight incompleteness that enables them to take
Yes. So Gopi Janavallabha Prabhu is paraphrasing chapter 16 of Jayabhadharma by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That why does this place exist? And why are there jivas here? Why does it need to be there? And the answer is that Bhagavan is unlimited. Bhagavan is unlimited. Therefore, he must possess all natures and all potencies within himself, including the tendency to give mercy and to feel compassion. He doesn't need to feel compassion and give mercy to those who are eternally situated with him in the transcendental realm. When Bhagavan has any nature, immediately his own internal potency or Ichcha Shakti or Yoga Maya reciprocates with that by arranging for that Shakti to be able to flow. Just like with Jai and Vijay. The Lord desired to fight. Within their heart, they understood that he desired to fight. Therefore, as his devotees, they desired to satisfy him. And then he reciprocated with their desire. He fed them the desire, they desired, he reciprocated. Then the four Kumaras came, cursed them to be demons, and then they were able to satisfy the Lord by his desire. We must understand that there is nothing independent of the desire of the Lord. There is only one supreme truth, that is Advai Gyan Paratattva, and everything is of him and for him, including the material creation and the Tatashta Jivas. For what purpose? Really, it is his Leela, Kripa Leela, his Leela of giving mercy and expressing his compassion. If he has that tendency, it needs to go somewhere. We are it. How do we reciprocate with his tendency to give mercy and compassion? By accepting it, by receiving it. And then that becomes complete. Until that time, he will be chasing after us. There's a verse in, I can't remember what Upanishad. It says that it is like two birds that are sitting in a tree. And one is Krishna, and one is me. Wait, here, take this, catch. Just, it's got a green light, right? Also the mic. It's Bipin Bihari Prabhu.
So, the Shvetashvata Upanishad, it says, Dviparna Sayuja Sakhaya Parishvajate. The two birds sitting in the heart. And who are these two birds? One is the living entity, the other is Bhagavan. One is the witness, and the other bird is eating the leaves of the tree. So these living entities who are eating the leaves of the trees are like living entities. And Bhagavan is sitting there as a witness. Question comes, why is Bhagavan sitting there as a witness? Why doesn't he interfere? Why? Because he has given the independence to the living entities that when they become completely exhausted after eating all these leaves and fruits of the trees, the moment they will look towards him, he will accept them completely. What Prabhuji was saying is also mentioned in the Vedanta Sutra. Yep. What you mentioned about Krishna enjoying or tasting all the various rasas. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhu, he addresses this particular question in the Vedanta Sutra, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writing is based on Vedanta. It is not separate from Vedanta. Shri Vyasdev himself poses a question, Ka Prayojanatvad. What is the purpose of this creation? That's the question. Why Lord has created this whole material world? First, the answer was given that he created it randomly. His answer is given. Question comes, if this world is created randomly, then there is a question that he is Bhagavan. Bhagavan does not do anything randomly. If someone says he created the world just randomly, so his identity or his position as Bhagavan will be questioned. Second, the other answer was given, that Bhagavan created this world out of a child's play. He wanted to play with himself. This is not logical. Why? Because if he is the supreme enjoyer, how could he send his own living entities to suffer in the material world? If he wants to play, how can he send his own living entities to suffer in the material world? Then Vyasdev, when he is raising this question, and Sri Baldevidya Bhushan Prabhu is writing the commentary, the next verse, the next sutra says, Lokvatta Leela Kaivalyam. If Lord created this world for living entities to go back to Him, question is why in the first place the living entities were allowed to come here? If the Lord created this world so that the living entities can go back to Him, the question would come, why did He even create this in the first place? Why did He create this world in the first place? Then Vyasdev himself answers this question. He says, Lokvatta Leela Kaivalyam. This is one of the pastimes of the Lord. Then Sri Baldevidya Bhushan Prabhuji again raises one question, one objection. He says, what type of Leela is this? Where the Supreme Master is enjoying and the living entities are suffering. What type of father he is? What type of father he is who sees his own children suffering? This question is coming from the side of living entities. The living entities are raising the question, you being the supreme enjoyer, you want to enjoy Karun Ras, you want to show your compassion. So we should suffer for your enjoyment? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Because anyone who asks this question, that why did you send us here, is not a servant. A servant never asks a question, why am I here? That's why this is all mentioned in the commentary of Sri Baldevidya Bhushan Prabhu, that if you are a servant and you have accepted you are a servant, why was I sent here? Theoretically, from Siddhant point of view, you should understand it. But you are meant for his enjoyment, whether he keeps you here or whether he keeps you there. Swarga, Narka, Apavargeshu Tulyartha Darshina. In Srimad Bhagavatam, when Chitraketu Maharaj, he was cursed by Parvati Devi, that you go and become a demon. Shivji said, Devi, Chitraketu Maharaj has the power to reverse the curse, but he will not do it. Why? Because for Narayan Parabhakta, for those who are devotees of Narayan, for them, there's nothing called Swarga, there's nothing called Narka, there's nothing called deliverance. Why? Because they attain perfection within the material body. They have attained, and they say, whether you keep us here or whether you keep us in this material world, we are meant for your enjoyment. This is Krishna Dasita. It's a very high thing.
It's in that bhajan, Atmanivedan. In service to you, happiness and suffering are the same.
Both. So in Vedanta it is mentioned.
So I think Bhaktivinoda said in the Jaiva Dharma that if Krishna, because you're eternal servant of Krishna, if this is giving pleasure to Krishna, then this is glorious, whether you're suffering or not. But then again, I mean, if you take like Janoda, they were fighting Krishna. Are they demons or are they devotees? Demons.
Externally.
Right? Because they wanted to kill Krishna. But it was giving pleasure to Krishna. So they became like glorious because even if you go to the Brahman, you're adding to the Brahman. So in any position the jiva is serving Krishna, whether it's his suffering or not. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that. Now, if we say, well, I didn't have a choice, this is not true. Because
You're married.
the Jiva in the Tatastha, he has how many similarities to Krishna? How many? 9. 9 different similarities. Nata Swarup, Jnana Swarup. And then there's Ichamai, he has desire. And he has the desire to enjoy. He's an enjoyer like Krishna. So in the Tatastha, he's in the Tatastha region, and there, what is there to enjoy? There's not much there to enjoy. So the Jivas are becoming a little bit frustrated. This is how I've heard it explained. They're a little bit frustrated because they have nothing to enjoy. So they want to enjoy. So Krishna's giving them independence to either choose this way or that way. Now, Krishna didn't force them, but they decided because they wanted to enjoy, because they're Bhokta Swarup, enjoying like Krishna, they wanted to enjoy. So some looked that way, and they wanted to enjoy that, and they immediately went there. And the ones that came here, who are us, were immediately given the identity through Lord Shiva, the Ahankara. I am the doer. I am the enjoyer. And once that false ego comes to the Tatastha Jiva, it's opposite to Krishna's real ego of eternal servant. So now I'm taking on the idea that I'm the enjoyer, and so much comes from that. It's not Krishna's fault. It's the nature of the material energy that when you develop material desires, you can't fulfill them. So therefore you have to suffer in many different ways, birth after birth after birth after birth. But he comes as, through Guru Parampara to teach us in any position how to come back to him so that we can learn from our mistake of taking the position of a Vadajiva against Krishna. This was our eternal fault, or our eternal sin, or whatever you want to call it.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Krishna bhuli se, forgetting, neglectful.
Yeah, this was our main, we wanted to enjoy separate from Krishna, so it's our fault. Every moment is our fault.
So I'd like to end, because it's time for Arti, with a little song that we learned as children. Manjari probably knows it. No. Based on this verse that you were just quoting from Svetashvara Upanishad. And it goes like this. 2 little birds sitting in a tree. One is Krishna, one is me. I am always in distress, trying to find happiness. He is waiting day by day for me to turn and look his way. He's waiting, but he's not forcing. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupananda Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Radha Gopinath ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinama Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Jiva Tattva ki jai. Wow. This is good because both of them are active at the same time. Thank you for this conversation. It's gone for a lot longer.